want to talk about dogs and children a little bit. When I go into people's homes, I've noticed the children have been taught early on how to interact appropriately with guests and people. They're usually very polite and thoughtful, and they don't come up and run up and try to hug me and kiss me or pat me or tease me with a toy. So just think about with your dog, you don't ever want your children thinking they're going to be in charge of the dog. That is very dangerous. What we want the dog to feel, we want the dog to feel very safe around children and always have positive associations. So we don't want children giving commands or thinking they're in charge of dogs. And in fact, we don't train that way anyway. With adults, there's no reason to do that with positive training. But you want to lose that idea that the children have to be in charge because that's a very dangerous thing you're doing. That could lead to the dog resenting the child or getting scared of the child. So we want really positive associations with children for the dog. So even if you need to change the language between the child and the dog, so if you have them greet people, then maybe they could say, "Hello, Sheba." You know, not pet on the head, but pet on the side. "Hello, Sheba." And then if they ask them to do sit or something, they could say, "Can you sit?" and make a request without them having to be on leash. And then they can do a reward marker. And you can go to my website, Train Your Best Friend, resources, look under videos. A lot of that training for capturing sit, target, attention, positive reinforcement, children can do. And you can even put the child behind a baby gate and have them do that capturing, which is what we call the training. And so they don't even need to be right up against the dog. I would rather have the hands off when they're doing the training and learn how to reinforce the right behavior with the dog. But I would change the language that the children are using. "Sheba, can you sit?" And then they could click or say yip if Sheba sat, and then toss a treat down. If Sheba doesn't sit, they can walk away for 10 seconds. Okay, very calmly walk away and come back. Again, you can see how to train that. And that would be a very positive experience for the dog. If the dog is at all stressed during this and showing body language when they're stressed, you can see body language at my website. I've got a video and a blog. You really want to know, if you have children near dogs, you need to know the subtleties of dog body language. So you know early on if that dog is stressed around the child. But I would teach them, say thank you, say hello. "Do you want to come see me, Sheba?" So start introducing ideas of respecting the dog. The dog is not a cartoon character. The dog is not a movie character. The dog is not a purse. This is really important. Again, your dog may be very tolerant of children, but other dogs they run into in the world at neighbors and friends and on the street are not going to be. So it's very good to teach them how to read body language with the dog and how to act appropriately and respectfully to the dog. You want to avoid anything. I see a lot of times kids doing this, sit, 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 sit. Can you see how threatening that might be to a dog? And they're really low, aren't they, because they're kids. So that could be very threatening, and then they could get aggression. And again, the dog can behave very differently towards a child than a dog does to you. So those are things to think about. There are some good resources. Jennifer Shryock, I'm not sure if that got her name right, but she has a website, dogsandstorks.org or .com, and then I think it's now called familypaws.com. But if you do a search for that, it'll come up. Also, Colleen Pellar, I think hers is dogsandkids.com or .org, and she's written some books about children and dogs. And there's more. There's other websites on kids and dogs, but those are two that I know and like to give you a start of how to do that. Okay, so very big, important subject, but I wanted to get it out there. Okay.